How to fit a glass and stainless steel staircase that we found on eBay. So the staircase is going between a ground floor and mezzanine area, and here are some of the original measurements. This is how we got the staircase, all in bits, and the metalwork just cut away from its original location. First we had to position the spine at the right angle and then support it at the bottom and the top with wooden structures.
Because the wall juts out about 150 millimetres here at the bottom of the stairs, the bottom two steps have to be made shorter, and we've had to have those specially made because they will be shorter than the other 8 steps and then the top steps. So there's 13 in total, of which 10 are the same size. Here they all are, a humongous mass of glass. The wall brackets are screwed into a solid brick wall, 60 millimetre, quite chunky stainless steel screws, and the glass treads literally sit on this surface with sticky tape, foam sticky tape, and they float. In other words, they're not actually fixed down at all other than that sticky tape on this side, and on the spine you've got the corresponding flat there.
This is how the tread should be fitted to the wall bracket, and you can see the foam strip underneath supporting it.
The laminated glass steps have this frosting on the top and these 3 ridges that was sandblasted in for cosmetic sort of decoration, but they consist of about a 20mm piece and 11mm piece glued together.
This particular tread is damaged at the back there, and you can also see where it was taped to the spine, but essentially we need 10 of them this size, and they're quite heavy. They weigh 22 kilos each.
In between each of the steps is this spacer rod with this plug that goes into this hole on each of the steps and also fixes on the left hand side straight into the wall.
Here is some prep work we did before the next stage.
At the top of the spine we welded this 700mm piece of 4-inch tubing onto the end of the spine there, and also onto a steel plate that's 10mm thick, and it's set into this 8x2 beam here. There's 3 of them actually, all sandwiched together, and 600mm screws. So basically that's where the majority of the weight and support will be, especially for this top step, which sits on top of that square bar just slightly above. The top step will go here, and it's more than twice the size of the other steps. To support the top step, we have to cut off this top plate, which is on each of the steps there, and weld on this square tubing, which sits on top of the steel plate just mentioned and right into the joists, so fully supported. The bottom of the handrail and the base of the spine were literally just glued down with mastic. No screws fitted at all because we didn't want to drill into the tiling because there's underfloor heating, and we can see that from some infrared camera footage.
Here you can see the base of the stairs in green and the hot pipes, which are red, one of them going immediately underneath.
There are 7 6mm steel rods that run into the balusters all the way along and down the rail. But just to be awkward, at the top there's 8 rails that go into 7 as you go down the handrail. This extra baluster at the top had to be fitted separately to coincide with the end of the handrail at the top and the horizontal piece, and bent accordingly to fit into the spine at the bottom. Looking at it this way, you can see that the top baluster is not bent as sharply as the others because we had trouble bending it.
We hired a pipe bender to bend the pipe, but as you can see we had several attempts at trying to do this. It's a lot harder than you think.
The spine, the handrail and 1, 2, 3 balusters were all originally one piece. This is the polished plate for the top step, which is the other way round to the others, because we needed the top step to be slightly above the level of the floor to accommodate carpets. The two handrails that came with the stairs just happened to fit. There's the one there and the longer one here, and that upright there just happened to coincide with all the other metalwork. Quite a fluke. And you can see here that the welding caused a lot of heat marks that also had to be polished out. Here are some shots of the pipe where we tried to polish it, but to no avail. We had to get the polishes in eventually to do a more professional job. At the end of the handrail we fitted polished curved caps, and the polisher managed to buff up all the nice rail there and the interpenetration between the welds of the piece that we put in here and also there, and dealt with the underneaths as well to make them look all nice. We also had to buy and fabricate this end flange onto the short handrail, and that will be soon just drilled into the wall there holding the short handrail. The flange on the end of the other handrail was already fitted and was already polished as well. The Juliet balcony was just a piece of polished tube cut to size, 2 flanges put on either end, and 11 of the same 6mm rods that go into the wooden floor. Here are some shots of the current work. This is how the stairs look at the moment. Some of the brackets on the wall, ready to put the treads on, and soon to finish off on the rails. So here is the finished staircase with its 2 short steps on the bottom and the large step at the top. From the top looking down, and from the side you can see there's the rods in between each of the treads. All the joints are suitably polished, with the top step supported by the 2 brackets. And underneath doesn't look too bad either. So there it is, the finished staircase.